Here's the MiG-21, and the first thing you need to do is cut out this piece right here. This is the fuselage. Here's the fuselage. This has no fold lines on it. Now there is a line here where this is going to be cut and folded out. We don't want to do that now, really. This whole thing is going to roll up and make a tube like this. Fuselage. We will roll our fuselage against the edge of the table, and it curls up. It wants to be and now you see it wants to be a tube. Then we take our glue. This tan glue is really good stuff. It is sticky without being soggy or drippy. It's basically just regular old white glue, but it's extra thick, and so it doesn't run over anything. What we want to do is line these up so the stripy area is completely covered up, and this gun pod here is one piece. It helps to have a pin or something to put in the middle, and we can push down on this. So here's our fuselage. The next thing you want to do is cut out the nose cone. The nose cone does the same thing. It folds up into a little tube like this. Then we're going to put some glue in this area that says put glue in this area. I'm going to curl this up. Now the bottom of the airplane is this seam right here. So with our fuselage, here's the bottom. We want to line these seams up. And we're going to glue this thing in. We can either put glue right here, or we can put glue on the back of the tab. Either way, that works. You want to make sure that you get glue on the edge of the tab, not just in the middle. If I put glue in the middle here, that's fine. I'm just going to smear it around until it gets to the edge. Otherwise, it will peel up. I'm going to attach the top of the tab and the bottom tab. And these two side guys, I'm going to leave them alone for a while. It's easier if you don't have to fight 4 things at once, just these two. And we're going to let that dry a little bit, and then we'll glue these side tabs on. Next step is the dorsal spine, and here's the windshield for the pilot to look out of. This thing has 2 fold lines on it, and one way to fold things like this is to pinch it right here at the beginning and right here at the end, and then we can pull it tight and pinch our way into the center, and that will give us a good accurate fold. Another way is if you get a ballpoint pen. It must be a ballpoint pen. And we're going to draw a line right where we want that fold to go. We've dented the paper so it will want to fold right on that line. And now these little fins come out, and it looks like this. It is going to stick onto our fuselage just like this. And this is going to bump up a bit. That's so your pilot can look out. We're going to put some glue behind here right now. Now this thing on, we're going to put some glue on this shaded area that says put dorsal spine here, make sure we get glue on the edges. And I'm going to glue one of these things down at once. There we go, make sure we completely cover up that area. See, we've got it covered up on the inside. We'll let that dry a couple of minutes. And then we're going to put glue over here. And because this other side is dry now, this should not slip around. It should go on right like that. And make your canopy bump up. And it's going to run all the way back here where the tail fin starts. This little guy works the same way. So this has two little things to pinned up. That's what the blue line means. Blue line means pinned up. Curl it around a little bit. Here's your canopy where your pilot looks out. And we're going to glue this onto the fuselage as well. I'm going to glue down one side. And once that's stuck down, I'm going to glue the other side. Here's the fuselage for the MiG-21. Here's the hard part. The hard part is cutting this hole for the wings to go into. Now, if I just jab like this, I'm going to push and push and push until it rips through and I stab something. So what I want to do is drill. And I'm going to put my finger inside, so I'm pushing against my finger. I'm not going to cut myself, but I'm going to control how hard I'm pushing with the scissors. So I've got my finger inside right there, and I'm going to kind of drill. Once I've got the jaws of the scissors in there, then I can kind of nibble away like this. Don't want to cut this bottom one here. This is going to fold down, and that gives me something to glue the wing to. It helps if you put something inside of it. You can fold that down. And there's my wing hole. I need to do the same on the other side. That's really the hardest part. Next part is to get the wings. Right, so here are the wings. We've got a fold line right here, and a fold line here, and a fold line here. These are yellow. That means we're going to fill them down. First, we need to cut this thing out. Okay, so here's the wing. Now I can fold and pinch my way in. That's one way. I can draw a line, preferably with a straight edge. I'm going to put it right there. And it's guaranteed to fold right there. And there's another way. The way is to show this. Another way is to put this against an edge of something like that and just fold it over. The edge of the desk works pretty good too. That gives you a nice straight line. This guy folds over. It's easy to forget that tab. Now the wings are not the same length. The top sticks out here a little bit. So if we force this to line up, the wing is going to curve up like this. We want this. This is a true wing shape. It's going to generate lift. Now the wing right now is a little bit floppy, and if you squish it flat, it'll get even more floppy. So we're going to put something inside to make this thing a bit stronger. And that's this thing. I'm going to start with this corner here and just roll it up. Makes a little tube. If we bend it in the middle like that, it won't come unrolled. We can kind of mash it down a bit. Then we're going to stick some glue here. And we're going to glue this inside of our wing. We want to make sure we don't get on top of our folds. Put it down like that. Now our wing is actually pretty strong. We'll get some glue across this tab right here. One wing there with the other wing here. We want to push it down flat against a table or some flat surface because we do not want to twist in the wing. Right now this wing is perfectly fine. It's got a curve on the top. You can tell it's the top because it's darker. The bottom of this airplane is white, the top is a little bit gray. That'll help you not put parts in upside down. The next step is put the wing in, so we're going to push it through and out the other side. And you can see these little tabs here are a wonderful place to put glue. So I'm going to sneak a little drop of glue right about there and right about there so that I can hold the wing in place so it won't move. I want to make sure it's straight and level. This one looks pretty good. And that was the hardest part of the plane. The tail is the easiest part. Now for the tail, we have this thing. It's got a fold line, a fold line, a fold line. You could cut it all the way out, but if you fold it right here, you can cut out both sides at the same time like a Valentine's Day heart. And now we're going to fold up these little feet on the blue lines. So the feet are how it's going to glue onto the airplane. Now we don't want this flopping open like this, so we'll put a couple of drops of glue. If you've got some really thin runny glue, you really want only tiny drops because otherwise it'll wrinkle up and fly funny. So then I'm going to put glue here. I'll make sure we get by our edges. And then here's our airplane that says put V stab here. We're going to put it right there like that. Give yourself a pin so you can seat it properly. Look at it, make sure it's straight. Looks pretty straight. Now the elevators aren't symmetrical. We can't fold them like that because these tabs are a little bit different. But we can fold it right here on this handy line and cut out both elevators at the same time. We want to make sure we cut this one last, and it should be a little easier. See? So we will cut it right there. And we have our elevators. This side folds like this. And the 2 feet fold up. And this one says right elevator right there. So you want to make sure this one goes on the right and it's dark gray on the top and white on the bottom so that you won't get them upside down or swapped. Goes like that. If you put it on backwards, it looks a little funny, and if you line up these tabs, your elevators will be actually tilting down, and that'll make your airplane nosedive. So we want to put them here. I am going to put some glue. Drop, 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 drop. And I'm going to put some glue here. And I'm going to make sure I put the right one on the right side. Notice it tilts up slightly. This thing should naturally want to climb when we throw it on the left side. Having a look at the back to make sure they're lined up. And the plane is almost done. There's one last thing we got to put here on the bottom, and that's this little guy, the ventral fin. We're going to fold him here. And we're going to fold out the little feet. This guy's small enough that we can just put glue on the feet. Put them right there. It says put ventral part here. And our MiG-21 is finished. Is you take one paper clip and you put it here. And this is now balanced to fly, and we can fly this if we throw it.